All right, this is a special. This is our preview of our FutureSpeak show that we're going to show you. We look at 26 different markets in that show. It takes over an hour to do. It's just an amazing, comprehensive classroom that we give on looking at all of these 7+ segments of the futures and index markets. And this is just a preview of that, as we're going to show you the work that Arvi has done here on Bitcoin.
Again, for Bitcoin, we have a dominant cycle broken up into minor thirds, and then this out of phase cycle, which is very much in play in dotted blue. And Bitcoin is in a very risky time period here. You can see we have already violated this key weekly low at 32,855 in a corrective period right here, with this dominant cycle pushing down on the downside. Now we have an out of phase cycle that's due to bottom right here. So the odds would favor a rally that forms a bear flag in the context of negative momentum that you see right there, and then we get one more washout on the downside to complete this dominant cycle. The next key low in Bitcoin is due around this middle part of July, or middle to end of July time period here in Bitcoin, and this period looks a lot like this period right here, where you had this bear flag in the context of negative momentum that turned down sharply. So watching for something similar, and then for this to get hit hard. The levels on the upside come in around 34,000 to 36.8, and we have a 61.8 at 39.5, and very likely for this to sell off further. Again, we have a super major level down here at 18,375. Shift over to the daily chart. Again, we have the Bitcoin cycles in blue, ETH cycles in green. What I want to focus on are these minor cycles. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so we have the ETH cycle that was due to bottom, as I just mentioned, no clear bottom in place. Bitcoin, let's focus on these minor cycles that you see right here. I'm going to draw them on the chart right here. These minor cycles. That is this money flow pattern right there. Okay, so what do we see here? This is in a rising phase, going nowhere in the context of a bearish ribbon. And what are we seeing? Bearish signals on the PO, bearish signals on the PO. So we're watching for this little bit of a triangle to actually just turn back down on the downside into this next timing, with our next low here due in the early to middle part of June. So that's the overall picture. Watch for rallies to fail, and then for this to get hit hard back on the downside. There are minor sell zones from 32,054 to 34,260, and then 61.8 on the minor at 36,342. So those are the levels on the upside in Bitcoin. Over a bias here is clearly very negative, and we are watching for lower prices here going out in the short term into this 610 time period. And if we look at this shifted cycle has a key low that's due, if I highlight it right here, in the middle part of June, early to middle part of June, very much in sync with what I just mentioned here on that weekly time frame in that middle part of June. So look for that washout low to form around that time period, according to both our weekly and daily cycle analysis.
Great stuff there, Arvi. That was really good. I just want to put a side note in here. Of course, the crypto market is related to the NFT market, non-fungible tokens. I just want to tell you, there is simply a crash that's been going on in NFTs, in the NFTs. And that, of course, is very linked to what's going on in crypto. Volumes of transactions in NFTs have dropped off by 90%. Sales volumes down about 90%. And if you just look at, what really made history was the first tweet ever. The NFT, somebody who bought the rights to that, to that image of that tweet, who paid $2.9 million for that. We tried to resell it. The highest bid for that was $14,000. Well, they canceled that auction, but that just gives you an idea of the just ridiculousness around these sectors in here of cryptocurrencies and NFTs. And I think the crypto NFT fantasy is over. So you saw in here Arvi's analysis, which showed you it was that Bitcoin was likely to move down to a level that was near 18,000. I think that's going to happen, and I think that's really high. So that's a look at Bitcoin. and my little add-on there about NFTs.